Rob G, bad times in San Francisco. They're only going to get worse because Jimmy Butler, the Butler didn't do it. He did do it. He's hurt. He's going to be out. I'm just saying. Where are the Warriors?
Oh, they are up Blanks Creek without a paddle right now. Jimmy
That
Butler,
was a good
you
show.
mentioned. Yes, Jimmy Butler out for the season, torn ACL. At a best case scenario, he's back at the All-Star break next season. So it's not looking good for Golden State. In their first game without him, last night, they hosted the Toronto Raptors.
I took the L on that one, yeah.
Got blowed out. They ended up losing by 18 points. They committed 18 turnovers, led to 34 points for the Raptors.
They had more turnovers
Than a bakery.
Thank you.
It was never close. And we all knew, even during this stretch, they played pretty well recently, that they weren't real contenders in the Western Conference. But now without Jimmy Butler, they may not even make the playoffs. Like, that's how bad the rest of their team is outside of Steph Curry. So it leads to an obvious question, guys. If you're the Golden State Warriors and you got Steph Curry, even at his advanced age, still playing very, very well, he's an all-star starter for a reason, where do you go from here?
Well, what I do know, Rob, both of y'all Robs, is that Steph Curry ain't going nowhere. I understand, they're struggling. Steph Curry is going to retire a Warrior. It's going to be similar to Kobe Bryant, where it might not even make sense on paper. Like, they're struggling, or he costs too much, or eventually maybe the talent isn't matching all of that. I think they're going to go down with the ship. Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Steve Kerr. I think that unit has felt like we're all in this together, and dang it, we're going to give it our best, and if it don't work, it doesn't work. I don't think Draymond Green's going to play another 4 or 5 years. I think they're going to be like, when that run is over and they look at each other, it's going to be similar to The Last Dance, where Phil Jackson moved on, Mike retired, then he came back, obviously. Scottie Pippen moved on, and I think it's going to be a washing of the hands like that. I just think he means too much to that city, to that team, to that culture. And he strikes me as somebody who's not interested in going to Phoenix to do this, then going to Denver, then going to Miami, for the next 4 or 5 years. He doesn't strike me as that guy. I think he wants to retire with one team, retire like how Kobe Bryant, God bless the dead, did. I feel like that's what he wants on his resume, that I played my heart out for this one franchise. We won a bunch. We won 4 rings, went to 6 finals. And I believe that's how this ultimately is going to end, Rob.
They don't owe him anything. They've paid him very handsomely, so they don't need to do anything. If he wants to stick around, I think there is something to. I always thought Tom Brady should have always only played for the Patriots. Mm-hmm. Derek Jeter only played for the Yankees. There's certain players.
Jeter.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Not everybody, certain players, and Steph, to me, is one of those players. What is the point on going somewhere for 1 year? You really want to go to Charlotte? I'm not, or some other team to hook on with them with the possibility. Doesn't mean you guarantee anything. You only want to wear one uniform. He's won enough. There's nothing else to prove. You're going to do you know what I mean? Like
yep.
There's nothing else for you. You're not going to catch Jordan. You're never going to be considered the greatest of all time.
Right.
There's none of that. You won. You won 4 championships, and you finally got the one without Kevin Durant, so people can leave you alone. So there's nothing to chase. Go out gracefully and go out as a Warrior. I really believe that that's the way it should be for Steph and nothing else. And I don't feel like there should be any pressure that they should do whatever they can and all that. I don't believe in that. They've paid him a ton of money and been very good to Steph, and they went out and got Jimmy Butler. You know what I mean? And they've gone out and they've tried so that he could play and be at least in a competitive circumstance. But that's enough. It's been a long career, and at some point you got to give up the ghost. So I'm not doing anything extra. And I would ask him, do you want to play your entire career here? If he says yes, then we just roll on, and we'll make sure that happens.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up his contract here. Steph's under contract with them so he's through next year, 2026, 2027 year. He had one more. He had extension back in August 2024. So yeah, I think.
I thought his hair was natural. Well, go ahead.
No. I didn't say he had extensions.
Oh,
right, he didn't have extension. No, he got an extension. I just can't see him, like I said, walking around in a Minnesota Timberwolves jersey. The only thing, if there was a small chance, is what you said. Him, because he loves Charlotte, It's where he's born and raised. We talked about his dad having his jersey up there. If he wanted to go to the home state, play for the Hornets for 1 year just to bring that kind of passion, love, and fun, fanfare, if you will, to the Hornets, maybe I could see, not obviously necessarily
So
the winning tip.
they could also give a statue or retire his number there in Charlotte too next
So
to
they
his
can
dad's.
have somebody else and put his
next to his dad.
jersey in the rafters next to his dad. So I'm talking 5% chance I see of anything else happen other than him retiring a Warrior. The 5 to 10% chance with him because we know how much he loves Charlotte and that just his home area of North Carolina. I could see him maybe wanting to go out 1 year just to bring like fanfare to that franchise for you. That's the only thing I could maybe see. But I think he wants to be a Warrior. I don't think he wants this just play to be playing. I don't think Draymond wants to. And I don't think Steve Kerr. Like, I think they might all ride off into the sunset together and just be like, yo, we had a 10 to 15 year run that was one of the best ever, and we gave it our all. We gave it our best. But it'll be interesting because Joe Lacob, one of the owners, he ain't a guy that he wants to win. He is extremely competitive. So it will be interesting to see the moves they make, whether it be before the trade deadline or
That's
in the
right.
offseason.
Remember, they traded Clay. They got rid of him. They ditched him.
They did. And you could argue a little too late, but, trying to be good to him. And, and even Draymond. A lot of people are like, oh, you could have traded him a year or two ago. But I think Draymond, and you talk about it all the time, Steve Kerr lets him ride with a lot of stuff, get away with a lot of stuff. I think they're just locked in. I think he's the heart of the team. Steph is obviously
Let's see how much of a heart of the team he is now.
We're just talking. Is it time for the Warriors to move on from Steph? If you're Steph, do you demand a trade to maybe go try to win a ring for the next couple of years, 2-3 years before you call it a career? What do you do? Rob and I both agree it just makes sense for him to retire there, stay there.
There's nothing to chase, right? What are you chasing?
Yeah, we agree on that. 877-99 on Fox. Rob, who we got?
I got a real quick question. So I got on a button-down shirt. You see me today.
I see it, yeah.
But I got on sweatpants with this.
Yeah, you probably
a little
can't
different.
Do that.
No?
Yeah, that's a little different. Well, they got
it's
really
a
nice
decent
joggers
shirt,
in. Like, they got really – and then the
these
pants
are these are Ralph Lauren, but they're sweatpants. That's what they are. They aren't fancy. You know what I mean? Fancy.
Yeah, you got to
snazzy.
get you some nice – they call them tech pants or some joggers.
Yeah, these are just sweats. All right.
There's some joggers you can get away with that in.
Is this Rocky in South Carolina? You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Rocky?
Good evening, guys. Happy Worship Wednesday to you.
Yes, sir. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing wonderful, enjoying your show as I always
Appreciate
try
you,
to
Rocky.
do in the evening. Look here, as far as Steph goes, and in my lifetime, which is quite a few decades, there have been few players that have cemented their legacy with one team, and even during their time playing ball, changed the game in their own way. And I think Steph is one of them. When he came in, he changed the game, and he cemented his legacy as a Golden State Warrior. He needs to stay put, finish the job finish the job where he started, and cement that legacy. And then when he's done, he's done.
Rocky, I'm with you. Don't you think like with Jeter, the Yankees, and certain guys,
Larry Bird.
only a handful, not everybody.
Magic.
Yeah, like you should only wear one uniform.
There's something to be said about that, Rob and Kelvin. It's just you're staying put. And even Michael. I mean, I know Michael went to the Wizards, but he was a Bull, and Bird was a Celtic, and Kobe was a Laker.
Right.
And Bill Russell was a Celtic, and you go all the way back there to teams that stayed put. And they have legacies for a reason. And they change the game in their own way. And Steph is one of them.
100%.
So no, he needs to stay his tail put right there in San Francisco.
No doubt. Thank you, Rocky. Absolutely.
All right, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for the support, too, on the show. Jack in Vermont, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Jack?
Gentlemen, how are we doing this evening? I wanted to just share my thoughts on Steph because, Rob, this is one of the rare times I agree with you. I feel like I'm 14 and you're yelling saying Tom Brady's falling off a cliff, and I'm saying, hell no, man, you're absolutely wrong. But listen, I agree with you. Steph Curry is a Golden State Warrior
Yes.
until he decides that he is not. But if you're not Mike Dunleavy and the governors over in Golden State, are you not sitting down with Steph after the JB news and saying, listen, your life after basketball is going to consist of a lot of what we have going on here? Because I don't see Steph going into ownership like LeBron. He's too much of a personality. Now, there have been too many garbage trades around sports recently, and we can single out the Luka and AD stuff, but I'd like to talk about Rafael Devers and Jordan Hicks some other time. The Warriors should look at Steph and say, listen, in the offseason, when they can negotiate with all these other teams, let's try to work out a trade package that would bring back a return so that not only are you set up for the remainder of your career, but the Golden State Warriors, post your playing career, will continue to be a relevant franchise. And that's the conversation I want the Golden State Warriors to have and for you guys to add on to.
I hear you. And, you know, that didn't happen in Boston. You know that. They just held on to everybody, right? And then they went into a 20-year drought of winning. But I think Steph is different. And in that case with the Celtics, to me, you can't hold on to all three of those. You know, all the players. They held on to Robert Parrish. They held on to Kevin McHale. They held on to Larry Bird. Do you know what I mean? Steph, you can hold on to one guy, but you can't hold on to everybody.
Yeah, I do think it's going to be Kerr, Draymond, Steph. I think they're even willing to retire early, meaning there's still some talent left in the bodies to just say, you know, we gave it a run. We're going to fall out as a soldiers, as a unit. We're done. I think that's
they're already done. I mean, they're not winning another title. I mean, come on.
Well, this year you sold yourself on.
I'm just saying,
Jimmy
they're not,
Butler.
we
got a chance. You know, we
You
played
saw them
well
last year with
and
Jimmy Butler. They
they went on a crazy, you know, streak. Listen, I'm with you. I'm saying they're convincing themselves that.
Right, but I'm just saying, do you think they're going to win another title with Draymond and Steph and Jimmy Butler?
And this
I don't.
weird pairing everybody keeps trying to do with LeBron there. How does that help? Everybody keeps saying, and then, you know, LeBron, like, what? How? What? Yeah, 6 years ago.
Thank you.
That would have been incredible. How the old gonna get older? How is that gonna help?
It don't even make sense.
I don't get that either. All right, Rob. So they're watching us right now, which means another thing they can do is what?
They can subscribe. All you got to do is hit that button, subscribe to The Odd Couple for some of the best sports talk content in the nation.
Facts. And while you're at it, they can like, they can comment, they can share, do all that for us. We appreciate it. Just do all that right up in here.